Conor, in the spirit of today's show, I thought we could start this show off by... question without notice. Is that okay?
Please, go ahead. What does that mean?
It means I have a question that I've not notified you of in advance. I'm going to ask you.
That's okay.
Okay. So if you had a Doctor Who museum in your house, right? Because the episode we're talking about today is the Space Museum. If you had a Doctor Who museum in your house and you had to have just one thing in this museum, pretty shit museum, but if you had to have one thing in it, like a Doctor Who artifact in it, what would it be?
Well, first of all, I think I do have a Doctor Who museum in my house with all my merch.
What merch?
Heaps. So this has to be like something from the show's lore?
Yeah, I think like something that was...
actually a prop, or are we talking like in the show's lore?
Nah, like a prop, like something that was used on screen. Like a costume or a piece of a set or something.
Peter Capaldi's red velvet coat. Which I've touched in person, by the way.
Yeah, you stroked that.
It's like it's coming home to me.
It is,
in a sense. What would you pick?
The alien from Aliens of London.
Okay.
As in the pig.
Oh, okay. A bit of a plot twist there. Is the prop still hanging about?
I hope so. If not, I'll just remake it and just say this was the one that was used.
I know they had like some Slovene,
like an arm
hanging around. Yeah,
here and there. Yeah.
Are you interested in those? Like, I know Dr. Scottnick has some. Like, it's like you can buy like tiny pieces of the TARDIS, like where they scrapped it and they.
But the thing is, I don't quite believe it. Sometimes
I know, because that is like a screw from the Fourth Doctor's TARDIS.
Yeah,
like,
there's some that's
have you
like
just been a fucking Bunnings, mate? And
a piece of the Grask's mask.
Yeah,
of the is it the Grask?
The Grask?
Yeah. And it's like that could be bloody anything, mate. Looks like a bit of crocodile skin.
I saw it's insane. You can buy the fake peanuts they used on the Midnight set. What an insane thing to buy. It's like, I own peanuts from the
that is so bizarre,
Midnight
mate.
set.
But as an actual answer, I did also write down 12's velvet jacket.
You had the same as me.
Yeah, because I think it's iconic and I love it. And I'm jealous that you stroked it. And I would like to stroke that
2
amongst
weeks
other things.
before the experience shut down.
You might have been the last person to ever stroke it.
Yeah, it's so sad that all that stuff is just sat in a box.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Collecting nothing.
Absolutely crazy. Anyways, guys, today...
Sack Russell T Davies for that.
On today's show... Oh, this roadcaster is further away than usual.
It's because we just set it up again because we went away.
That's correct. On today's show, we are going to be reviewing the Space Museum, as we said. That's at the back end of the show. But before that, we're going to do our top 5 space set stories, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm also going to bring in a new segment. It's called... I'm talking to an AI.
Oh, so that starts today?
That starts today, baby.
Oh, shit. I thought it was going to start next week.
And we'll talk about that segment when we get there, but it's a lot of fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. I pitched it to Conor before we came on.
Please don't click off the video. Stay tuned.
That's it.
I can tell by the watch time if you do. So
and he will find you.
I'm watching
and
you.
And he will hunt you down.
I will.
With the 50% Doctor Who podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, @50Doctor, on TikTok, @50Doctor Who. Subscribe, hit us in the Ko-fi, do all the following things, and I think that's enough plugging for one show.
Yeah.
50% podcast.
Unironically dabbed.
Did you? What is this, Missy and the...
That's sad.
You're a sad man.
Please don't judge me.
Post Adelaide, Conor, we're back after our...
we haven't been in studio for like...
a few weeks now.
Nearly 3 weeks?
Yeah,
it's nice to be back. It's good. I think a break was a little bit due, but...
You know, as in going away to Adelaide or a break from the pod?
Well, it was nice. There was an episode already filmed, like back.
Right.
Because,
yeah.
You know, gotcha. we filmed like I think 14 pieces of content that's going to be out because Crispy Pro is going to release those
shorts
interviews,
and things,
into shorts. So it was like 14 pieces of content.
It's crazy, man.
We filmed all in like one day.
You think we went on a holiday? All we did was slave for Crispy Pro. That's all we did.
Hey man, I said before we left it was business rather than pleasure.
That's it.
I kid, it was great fun.
Loads of fun. Do you know what my favourite highlight was?
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
When Adelaide ran out of beers. They said, hold on guys, there's a problem.
Well,
the boys are in town.
The Imperial pints, you mean? They're tiny. They're not real pints. It's so insane.
Adelaide has some lingo for pints of...
Yeah, we
Guinness?
were like,
was it just Guinness or was it all pints?
No, it was everything. It was like, we have a pint and she was like Imperial and we both were like, the fuck?
Yeah, weird lingo. If you go to Adelaide, ask for an Imperial pint.
Pints. It's but you still pay like full price.
Yeah, we were asking for pints and getting little baby baby things.
They're a bit bigger than a midi.
Dogging. Absolutely dogging.
Yeah, it's funny because like I remember someone saying that, like, you know how like sometimes something happens to you and then like a core memory lights up and you're like, oh yeah, I remember someone saying it to me because I remember someone saying that.
Yeah.
But it took that happening for me to remember. So, but no, I had a great time. How about you? Are you glad you're back?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I loved doing it. It was so much fun to be with Crispy, Josh, and yourself.
Thank you.
And the pod was so fun. It's one of my favorite episodes of the pod we've done. And Josh's video was so funny.
That was really fun to watch.
And Crispy's shorts from what we've seen so far are all very funny as well.
Yeah,
so
it's really fun to watch and look back on.
Yeah.
I do have the bone to pick with you actually.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Josh's video, but I won the fucking quiz.
Oh, you went and did the actual math. Why am I getting the bone picked out? I didn't do that.
Because you in the video is like, I'm on 400 points, and then Josh's at me went, bloop, bloop, and I went 400. So you won. We all filmed like acceptance speeches because we didn't know who won. And I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my God, like I've won in the Josh Snares video. Surely they won't pick Aidan because of the stupid joke that he made. And then they did. They picked you.
So yeah.
I didn't see anyone in the comments be like, oh, Conor actually won. I fucking checked as well.
At the end,
no one said anything.
Yeah, like you said, we filmed like 3 alternate endings of who won. And you did yours, and I think all of us said Connor's won't get used to though because Conor definitely didn't win.
Yeah, I remember Josh said to me at the end was like, babes, I don't think you won. And I was like, I think I fucking did. And I did. So
good on you, mate.
I know it doesn't really matter, but it actually annoyed me more than I thought it would. I'll be honest.
But thanks for all the love on that podcast. If you did join us from that amazing podcast, we did the big crossover, then hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We like to talk about Doctor Who most of the time, and we're a little bit silly about it. So if you like a little bit more unhinged stuff, then...
What's your 5-second synopsis of 50%?
We're the podcast that talks about Doctor Who 50% of the time, but realistically we talk about it 90% of the time. Just every now and then we go off topic.
Seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a highlight from Adelaide?
Sorry?
Did you have a highlight in Adelaide?
What did you say?
Did you have a highlight in Adelaide?
A highlight in Adelaide? Probably like, it's not even Doctor Who related. Like I suggested, as I was flying to Adelaide, I saw the jail, and I like going to jails. Well, just visiting, not actually like, you know, like
strange kink.
You know, like Monopoly is like just visiting.
Yeah,
you go past the jail. That's me. There was a point where I'd lost everybody, and it was just me and Oscar walking around the prison. And then Oscar's like, "I'm going to the toilet," and I was like, "Cool." I was like, "Make sure we don't lose you." Gone. So then I was just walking around this prison, and there was a point where I was just walking through a cell block all by myself, and it was so bone chilling. But also, like, there was no time on that holiday where I was really by myself. Very few times. Like, I need my me time.
Sorry.
So, no, it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's why I walked to get that Red Bull that morning. I was like, and it took me like 20 minutes to find like a place I could buy. But I was like, fuck it, I'm going. But just because I needed a bit of me time. But
I bet you saw a place like around the corner and you went, nah, I need to go further.
I generally didn't. I'm looking, I feel like in Perth it's like a servo like every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But in this place, it was like 20 minutes from the hotel. And Snares was coming over. I'm like, speed walking, listening to my headphones, and stuff. But like,
crazy.
Yeah, I enjoy the times that I had a little bit by myself, which sounds very antisocial.
So your favorite parts were when you were alone?
Well, it was just too much for me sometimes. It's just all that socializing is too much, and it's just
fair.
Yeah, but yeah.
Shall we talk? Let's park Adelaide for a second.
We are talking, Aidan.
And let's double park that, and then head to outer space.
Oh God, how are we going to breathe? Oxygen?
Maybe that's one of the answers. We're going to do our top 5 space set stories. Whoa! You can write down yours below, and we'll read it. What?
Oh no!
What? What are you talking about?
I think I misunderstood the assignment.
I said stories set on other planets in space.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, everything's in space, you fucking idiot. Like, we're in space.
No, yeah. We're fine.
We're on a rock.
Yeah, we're on a rock.
Okay,
but
thank
no,
God.
we're talking about like out of our solar system. We want proper like on planets, like distant planets. Our favorite episode set on distant planets, basically.
Thank God. Okay, I'm fine.
We're doing our top 5, and I want to put this out there first. My list, it's not necessarily like these are all really good episodes on my list. But it's not necessarily, number 1 is not necessarily like the best episode of all time. Like I think there's like a bit of a switch in the order here than people might expect. Purely because I sort of wanted to assess it on like, I are they using the space setting to the advantage for this scenario? So like, are they doing like a commentary on a space civilization? Do they use like a space horror set piece to their advantage? That kind of thing. Space. I thought about putting that on for a bloody meme, mate. And so that kind of dictated this list, and is sort of maybe why my honorable mentions didn't make it onto the list.
Yeah, I also have episodes on here that I don't like.
Ooh.
My list, which I pulled out of my ass like 5 minutes ago, is so great. I'm so proud of it.
I'm excited.
I think it's a flex.
Do you have any honorable mentions before we get into
barely
it?
think of 5, so...
Okay, well, I wanted to put Boom and the Doctor's Wife.
You're like, you can't pick Waters and Mars.
Yeah, because Waters and Mars it's too basic, I think.
But also, there's no men been on Mars or lovely ladies. But
it's not spacey enough for me, you know what I mean?
Sent, like, things there.
I've been to Mars.
Cool.
Yep. Good chat. Special mentions for me, Boom and the Doctor's Wife, 2 banging episodes.
Starry and Free. I was going to do that as a meme. Is that what you mean? Like, the planet?
I'm talking about the episode.
The settings. This is so crazy.
No, I'm not talking about the setting.
Okay, that's not what I did at all. That's right.
What are you on? All I'm saying is your top 5 episodes set on different planets.
Yeah, you're in luck then, because that's what I've got.
Okay.
There's none set on Earth.
Okay, well that's good. Let's see where this goes.
You made it more complicated than it needs to be.
No, I've not. I've said. I've just. What have I done?
I think the audience is going to be a bit confused.
Audience, if you are confused, please let me know.
I'm just being honest.
I'm just saying we've done top 5 historicals. I'm saying we're doing top 5 space adventures.
I'll start answering them and you tell me if I got it wrong or right.
Okay, so we're going to go from 5 to 1.
Yes.
Connor, what's your 5?
Trenzalore.
No, you've done it wrong.
Are you fucking kidding me?
We're not just naming planets.
No, but you let me explain.
Yeah.
I like it because of the setting, because it's where the Doctor's buried and it's such a cool idea.
But we're not ranking planets.
Well, I've done it wrong then.
We're just ranking episodes set on other planets.
Well, there you go. Name of the Doctor.
Okay, all right. Let's run. Let's do that. Let's make it this version of that.
That's what I meant, though. Name of the Doctor and the planet Trenzalore.
Shout out to your homie Trenzalore.
Yeah, we rewatched it in Adelaide with me and Crispy Pro and Aidan. Joshy wasn't there, and I forgot how much I actually enjoyed that episode.
Great episode.
Yeah,
great
finale from me, Aidan. Is that enough?
That's enough. That's enough for me. Yeah.
Is that real enough for you? What's yours then? What's your perfect pick?
I realize I've fucked up my own list actually.
Shut up! No way. Did you put Fires of Pompeii? That's set on Earth. That really happened. There was actually a volcano.
No,
it's volcano.
But I said no space stations. I said just planets.
Right. What did you pick?
My number 5 is Wild Blue Yonder.
I was going to pick Wild Blue Yonder, but it's not. You said don't do spaceships.
Yeah, I know. I realize I've made a mess, but it's a great episode.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Thanks.
Doesn't count. All right. Well, I'll swap that out for Boom then.
All right. Castaria 3 is your number 5. 4 for me is an episode that I actually don't like, but Nightmare in Silver, the Hedrick's World of Wonders. Which is like, it's such a cool idea, like the idea of like a theme park. Like the last one I said, the whole idea of a graveyard planet and the Doctor's there is so cool, great idea. And I think this is where like a theme park planet, that's such a great idea. Such a great idea. Not great episode.
No, but they got the vibe right of the planet, right? Like the sort of horror, spooky theme park. It's
I get
great.
that, but I wish there was a scene like on a roller coaster, like whoa, like not like a small one, like
you didn't like them just doing the gravity thumper or whatever it was when they're jumping.
No, I don't. Like, do you know how like the Royal Show in Perth, like you can go on like it's like a haunted house that you just it's like a circle basically.
Yeah, like a space version of a roller coaster would be cool, you know.
But Sideman comes out and goes like, "I'm gonna kill you," type shit.
Oh.
Thank you.
They should do like Doctor gets on the roller coaster and they sit down, they pull down the harness brace thing, and they're going whew, 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 and then he screams and he goes ah, and then turns to his right and it's a Cyberman.
See, this is the kind of
what are you doing here?
That'd be kind of nuts. Like, and they're fighting. It's like trying
that's the thing. He's like trapped whilst the Cyberman's trying to like get him.
I don't think a Cyberman could turn its hand that way and kill him.
I don't know.
They'd probably just be like that.
No, but these are flexi Cybermen. Remember?
Yeah, true.
They're crazy. They can take off their hand.
The Iron Man Cyberman. Yeah, true.
Iron Man. Good pick. Not a great episode, but I like the planet assessment here.
Yeah, it's really cool.
My number 4. Utopia.
Okay.
The music's great.
The call came from across the stars over and over again. Come to Utopia.
This one's sort of based on it just being a great episode. set on a distant planet.
First part of the third part of a 3-part final.
If that's how you want to look at that. It is, cracking. It's a spooky planet as well. Spooky planet. I love like...
Well, there's no sun, is there?
Well, it's the last planet, isn't it? Everything's gone. So yeah, no sun, mate. No sun.
Cannibals.
November. Yeah, everyone's gone mad. I love the feeling of like the air. What the fuck's it called? Like the area that they stay, like the little...
Yes.
The building that they're in.
It used to be like Janto.
Janto. Yeah.
A city or a hive or a nest or a conglomeration.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's spooky. Conglomeration.
Classic Doctor Who.
But like I love like all like the people all dirtied up. Like the production design's really cool
They say the skies are full of diamonds.
And that's haunting when that comes back in the finale. Gee whiz.
Because it's fun.
What's your number 3?
That's why we kill.
Doctor Fun. Oh no, what's your number 3?
No, it's what you said. Again, an episode that notoriously I don't like, and I wouldn't say I hate it, but it's also a very hot topic. Science and Library, Forest of the Dead. Planet, that's a library. That is cool.
Yeah, that's almost on my list.
It makes sense. I mean, if we're talking like there's a whole galaxy out there, of course there's going to be a theme park planet. Of course there's going to be like a library planet. And I get what people say, it's like, maybe there's a book I want to check out and it's in like China, for example, like the distance for us on Earth. This is the future, baby. There's teleports, there's space trams.
Do you know, I don't know what it is about it, but something about Science in the Library gives me Monsters Inc. energy.
I get that.
You know, like with all the doors, like all the hundreds of thousands of doors.
I totally get that.
Same energy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe it was an inspo.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's just super cool though. Like I think it's a really cool, unique idea.
Yeah, it is.
I could see that existing one day, like a planet, massive library. Like it's such a cool idea.
And like one of the planets in the sky is a satellite. The moon's a satellite in the sky, I think.
It's like
because Dr. Moon.
It's not. Yeah, where Cal, my father's calling me.
Hi, Dad. So he does talk to you.
Yeah. Where are you? I told you 1,000 times I was going to film the pod. Yeah, Dr. Moon. Yeah, you're right.
My number 3.
What's your number 3?
Gridlock.
Oh,
because
New York.
New York is a very good setting. I liked it. That's what I hear when you talk.
What a lovely way to speak to a co-host.
Kind of a spooky, dodgy setting. Kind of also feels like New York in a weird way. Like
it's dirty and
all like
the
vent stuff. Like all the.
Is it the big crabs that remind you of New York?
Yeah, they notoriously have giant crabs.
Is it the mackerel that reminds you of New York?
Yeah. I saw some massive crabs in New York, mate.
Aren't they from the classic era, the mackerel?
Yeah, they might be. I'm not 100% sure, but they might be from the story called The Macra Terror.
The one that Snez talked about on holiday.
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to everyone else's conversations.
Just them, so no one else was there. So when I say that, no one's going to... Unless Snez is watching, so there you go.
Okay, I'm glad you appealed to one person in the audience.
Big crab
go snap. But mainly the commentary on like this future civilization. I think there's so much different layers of the commentary there, from like the happy pills to like people taking drugs to give them emotions, to like the whole congestion, overpopulation, the deeper stuff about the government in there. And then to top it all off, as a little character piece, you have an amazing scene with the Doctor at the end finally telling Martha about Gallifrey. And we hear this is Gallifrey.
A war.
A time war.
My race fought another race called the Daleks. They literally see them like next week in the episode.
That's foreshadowing.
What is this, Space Museum ending?
Nice. Your number 2?
My number 2 is Impossible Planet and Satan's Pit.
Oh,
Technically, it's a planet.
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
I count it as a planet. Believe me.
I was saying to you and Oscar on holiday, I can't remember the creator's name, but like I watched this video essay a couple of weeks. It was not Tyler Creator. He doesn't do Doctor Who videos, which is really cool to see. Like he just decided to do a video essay on Satan's Pit and Impossible Planet. And it's like it just reminds you how great the episode is. Those episodes. I feel like no one really talks about them, but they're so great. Like it's brilliant. The characters are like all really good. The Impossible Planet, it's in front of a black hole and it won't get sucked in because there's a devil at the center of the Planet. Spoiler, but it's also, and it's voiced by Mr. Sutek.
Yeah, it is.
Himself.
Sutek. My boy. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Dobby. So, dude, that scene used to creep me the fuck out as a kid.
Crazy.
Yeah, the Impossible Planet. It's just such a great episode, man. Like I love it, and the Ood introduction, like
great choice, mate. Great
I feel like it's one of those like rare times where like all the characters work for me. I understand them. I rewatched Under Lake Before the Flood, and it's like probably the only time I felt that as well. Like all the characters work. Yeah, that's my answer.
Like a classic base Under Siege, but done really well.
I couldn't pick that. I was going to pick one at that, like Under Lake Before the Flood, but I think it's Cell on Earth.
It is Cell on Earth.
It doesn't make any sense, but anyway.
Okay. My number 2.
Yep.
Midnight.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it is obviously
of course.
a fantastic episode in its own right.
Yeah.
Not seeing the monsters that are out there in this place, and the fact that if
Plural?
the monster, we don't know.
I'm a motherfucking monster.
The fact that if you go out there and try and look at them, you'll die is like spooky as shit. What is surviving out there in this distant world? This is what I'm talking about, like space horror. And the same with number 1. It's for me, it's all about space horror. That's my favorite thing that Doctor Who does is when in the classic like alien thing in space, no one can hear you scream. I love like just 5 people alone. There's no one coming. No one can help you. And you have to deal with it. And it's almost, even in the big depths of space, extremely claustrophobic. I really like that.
My number 1, Midnight.
Oh,
bitch.
you did think of it.
I pretended to not know. And as proof, you can read it.
No, you go. Tell me about
I
Midnight.
actually did pick Midnight. I didn't want to be like, oh, I secretly will put it at number 1. What's so funny? Come on.
Nothing. Just keep telling. Keep going. You'll find out.
Well, what can I mean, you've already said it all, I guess, but like, yeah, I've been having the itch to rewatch Midnight recently, and it just reminds me that like I tagged Ross T. Davis on my story on 50%, 50 Doctor, and I was like, he wrote this in 2 weeks. It's incredible that he did that, folks, and he fucking watched the story, so he's seen my face. No, but he's seen my face, and I was simping him hard in it. I was like, and the goat's returning. That takes me back.
You built him up. He was watching your story and he was like, I'm brilliant. I can do whatever I want. I can put Sutek on a leash.
I should do that thing with Sutek he fought that day.
Yeah.
I'm the reason Doctor Who went downhill.
You are. Confirmed.
What's so funny? Something on my face?
No, it's the fact that you pretended that my number 2 wasn't your number 1.
Oh, do you have another one that I said?
And I pretended that your number 2 wasn't my number 1. Impossible Planet Satan Pit is my number 1.
Oh, get the fuck out of town.
We always do that. We always have the same top 2 but swapped. That's happened a few times.
Yeah,
now.
that was happened last time we did the thing.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's the same. It's that deep space horror. It's for me when I think of season 2, I think of these 2 episodes. It's so iconic for me. That music, the dun 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 dun. Butchered that. But yeah, it's great. The threat of the planet up, the black hole up there, just the left turn that is part 2 in a way. Like it's so not low key, like slow paced stuff with the dog, and then you've got the more exciting stuff happening. Going through the ventilation shafts and stuff. But exciting isn't the right word.
Stuff is so cool.
Yeah, exciting isn't the right word though, because even with the Doctor, that stuff was still exciting. It's just like slower, and it somehow masters this really fast-paced plot and this really slow burn plot.
Yeah, that guy that I watched, I wish I could remember his name. Like, he made a really good point. It was like, I mean, the episode is just like, it's about faith, like, and us as human beings. It's like, even if it isn't a religion, it's like, what do you hold on to that keeps you going? Yeah, and I just think it's a fucking great story. Like, it's amazing story, and the ending is one of the best. So underrated. It's brilliant. And the performances, we said this pretty recently on the show, that final scene where the Doctor and, I almost said Ruby, the Doctor and Rose reunite was the last scene those 2 shot together. And you can tell it's so emotional and so raw. It's beautiful. He said, I die in battle. It lied. So fucking good.
So
it really is. Like, there's so many episodes of Doctor Who that I'm like, sometimes I hate when people are like, Doctor Who's just a silly science fiction TV show.
No.
There are some episodes I generally think are like just fucking great TV, like really good TV. And that's one I put up there. I think even if you're not a fan of the show, like, I don't feel like you have to be. You can watch this and be like, that was really good. Like,
I remember talking to my Year 2 teacher. It was like, because I was a little like introverted, nerdy kid. Me?
You're introverted?
Me?
What?
And he would come up to me every like Monday. Doctor Who would come out on a Sunday or whatever,
Seen
and we'd talk
Doctor
about
Who?
it.
Saturday back in the day.
Yeah, I don't fucking
You
remember.
seen Doctor Who?
You seen the new Doctor Who? I'd say, yeah.
I've seen it.
Spaceship, black hole, pretty cool. I remember having that conversation about that one.
I like the ood.
Oh,
Yeah, the ood.
the ood.
Ood.
Spaghetti mouth.
It's like odd.
But
But it's
ood.
ood.
Clever.
An odd ood. The beast will rise from his pit and bring vengeance against God.
Well, that was a good list.
Yeah, that was really fun actually. I like these lists. They get me brain ticking. They
TikTok.
get the ticker ticking.
TikTok.
TikTok goes to clock.
Closing time.
No, it's
The other one.
Technically, you're true. Technically,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right. That's a nursery rhyme, but I was more doing Winston Churchill in When River Song.
Oh, no, I was doing the TikTok.
So yeah, so technically you are right. Yeah, the nursery
close
rhyme. It's funny. We actually didn't watch much Doctor Who in Adelaide, but like I feel like I came back home with like, oh, I love Doctor Who. Like I forgot how much I love Doctor Who.
Well, I think we were just happy to be around each other, and yeah, it rubbed off.
I watched. Great, I forgot.
You watched The Silent of the Daleks?
The Go I Waited,
Yeah.
and I watched The Silent of the Daleks, and
Yeah.
I watched Dark Take Manhattan.
Yeah, okay. I've done those recently.
Sorry,
those two.
Angels Take Manhattan.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I
Yeah.
did those two recently as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're very good.
yeah. I'm just like, oh no, and I watched before the flood under the lake.
You are back in Doctor
Which
Who.
I love that story. Again, I feel like no one talks about it. It's really good. Like even the second part holds up. It's not as good, but it's still I like it.
Cracking.
Fun, stupid, like nerdy fact just on the ending of Satan's Pit. By the way, they play the Lone Dalek from Series 1 as well, and
Yeah, you're probably right.
I am right. I am right, but
This guy.
no, I'm just saying, like, it's one of my favorite pieces from Murray. Like, it always makes me like tear up. It's gorgeous, and they use it at the end of there. And normally, I'm a bit like Murray, like reusing score. It's a bit lazy, but it works in that scene so well. Like, it's so good.
Shall we do the brand new segment, Connor?
I'd love to.
As promised, we have a brand new segment, and it's called "I'm Talking to an AI."
Am I talking to an AI?
That's Shooty.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, that's from Boom.
It's from Boom. Yeah.
Have you checked copyright shit for that?
Surely they won't ping us for a second and a half of Mario.
They probably will, but that's okay.
Just-
AI Aidan.
I don't know why I did Mario. I was like, it's glitchy. Sounds like AI.
AI
Anyways,
Aidan.
This is my incredible new segment, okay? And y'all are going to love this one, all right? And you can play along with us here. It's the segment where before we come on to the show, I have a little chat with everyone's new best friend, ChatGPT. And over on there, I ask it for an extremely vague description of a certain Doctor Who episode of my choice. And yeah, I ask it to give me an extremely vague one-sentence description of this episode.
Okay.
And then every week I'm going to come here and I'm going to bring you a description.
Okay.
And you've got to guess what it is.
I'll keep a tally as well. We'll see how many I get wrong and how many I get
Yeah,
right.
I like that. But I've got 3 for today since we're starting.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how fast we'll go through them or not. So I might do
It
multiple.
might be
week.
really easy or it might be really hard. You
Yeah.
never know. All right.
So we're going to try on this today.
Okay.
It's time for I'm Talking to an AI.
Am I talking to an AI?
Okay, here we go. Number 1.
And you can play at home as well.
You play at home, baby. In a tale that intertwines time travel and romance, a mysterious figure navigates emotional connections across different eras while facing an enigmatic threat. And I will say, each one gets harder.
What the fuck? Okay, so
This is the easiest one.
Okay, so romantic.
In a tale that intertwines time travel and romance, a mysterious figure navigates emotional connections across different eras while facing an enigmatic threat.
Is it Christmas Carol?
No, but I see what you're doing there.
That's
there.
a story about love.
Yeah, and it goes between time travel, like different times and stuff. Really focus on that, okay? Think about it
Bells of
jumps.
St. John.
No, it jumps between times,
Jumps between
and there is
times.
romance at its core.
Romance at its core and it jumps between times. It jumps
I want
between
if the
times.
audience gets any of these before Connor, I'd love them to write it below. I'm just genuinely curious how,
It jumps between
because
times.
for me this one's super easy, but I asked for the prompt. Do you know? So it's I can't
Yeah.
judge. You're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it because it is, and it's one of your favorites.
It's one of my favorites. Is it?
Think Xavier.
Xavier? What? Vincent and the Doctor?
No.
Think Xavier.
Think Xavier.
It's Girl in the Fireplace.
Yes, Girl in the Fireplace.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So
Idiot.
it is kind of right there, right? That one. A little bit harder this time, so we'll see how you go.
Yep.
So 0 so far, Connor. Keep tally.
Great.
Keep count of that. Okay. At a distant point in time, an observer witnesses the spectacle of a catastrophic event whilst navigating a gathering of diverse beings, each with their own agendas.
This is so fucking hard.
Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah.
Really take it in. I'll do it really slow.
Yeah.
At a distant point in time, an observer witnesses the spectacle of a catastrophic event while navigating a gathering of diverse beings, each with their own agendas.
Is it Timeless Child?
No.
In a catastrophic event in time.
Let's really break this down. At a distant point in time, so far future. Far future.
In the far future, yep.
An observer witnesses the spectacle of a catastrophic event.
Yep.
So something big has happened and they're watching it. There's a gathering of diverse beings, so people possibly from all different planets coming together. And they're all sort of got their own thing.
Pandora opens?
No, I see what you're doing. Not quite Pandora opens.
Oh, is it Timeless Doctor?
No. Everyone, there's a lot of mysterious scheming at place.
Timeless Doctor.
A lot of schemes. It's pretty early on in New Who.
Okay.
Just think, people are gathering to watch something massive happen.
Oh, it's End of the World.
There you go. Bang, baby.
Yep.
Yep.
These are hard.
These are hard, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Is it fun?
This is really fun.
Okay. One more for today.
I love this. Yeah. I want to get this.
This one is by far the hardest.
Okay. Okay.
In a journey through time and memory, a pivotal secret is unveiled, revealing profound connections and the impact of choices made across lifetimes.
Right, say again, please.
In a journey through time and memory, a pivotal secret is unveiled, revealing profound connections and the impact of choices made across lifetimes.
Name of the Doctor?
That's it. You got it, baby.
Hey!
I feel like it's...
you watched it on holiday, so...
I feel like it's a really vague one, that, except for when it says a pivotal secret is unveiled. I feel like that's where you kind of clicks for
didn't
you.
even hear that.
Oh, okay.
If we hadn't watched it on holiday, I never would have guessed that.
Guys, let us know what you think of that segment, and it'll probably be back next week. But if you hate it, also tell us so that we don't keep doing it. This has been I'm Talking to AI.
Am I talking to an AI?
AI Aidan, thank you for that segment.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for, baby.
That was really fun. I loved that.
Shall we move on to the Space Museum?
Woohoo!
Woohoo! The best part of the episode.
Yes.
We need like a transition sting for going into reviews. We're gonna review Doctor Who.
It's the Weasel and the Nag.
That's me and you.
And they're back to review classic Doctor Who.
The Space Museum is the 7th serial of the 2nd season in the British science fiction television series. You heard that right. We skipped the 6th because that was the Crusade and it had missing episodes in it. And we don't fuck with that. If you want that shit, you go to Josh Snare's YouTube channel.
Yeah, I will say, because I know I'm doing the rewatch, so I'm doing the watch for the first time. I think this is, I guess, years in the future. Once I actually do watch all of Classic Who, I will then, the last thing I do probably will be watching the...
Well, that's what we'll do with this pod.
Oh.
Right? I feel like it's the nature of anyone doing like a watch pod. Like you just save that shit because maybe they'll find some, maybe like an animated. But the Crusade right now isn't animated. So if you watch the two...
It's just screenshots?
It's just screenshots. Yeah, basically. Anyway, Space Museum, 7th serial of the 2nd season, written by Glyn Jones and directed by Mervyn Pennyfield, who's done a few. I recognise that name. It was broadcast on BBC One in 4 weekly parts from the 24th of April to the 15th of May 1965. In the serial, the First Doctor and his travelling companions, Ian, Barbs, and Vicky, who Conor likes to call
Hooray.
the Platypus. They arrived at the Space Museum on the planet Xeros, where they seek to change their fate after seeing themselves turned into museum exhibits in the future.
That's a bit of a spoiler.
They also become entangled in a conflict between the militaristic monarchs who run the museum and the servile indigenous Zerons who work for them.
Isn't like the brief like first paragraph of like Wikipedia supposed to be like spoiler free, and then you go down to the plot and it's like a big plot analysis?
This episode did come out in 1965.
True, but I feel like there should be some standards. Yeah, Wikipedia is funny like that. You know, anyone can edit it.
I know.
Cool.
I wrote that.
Thank you.
Thanks. So I'm standing up for it.
Thank you.
I wonder who did write it. If you wrote this article, hit us up. Come on the pod.
You can see credits at the bottom.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to look at that.
Some random person.
The Space Museum. I remember watching this on the classic set when I got it 2 years ago. It was the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
Season 2 came out.
Yep.
And I thought, this is pretty fun.
Yep.
I liked it. I rewatch it now.
What did I think? No.
And I think, and you know, I tells you what I think, all right? I thought starts fun, gets a bit basic towards the end. Starts off interesting, doesn't end interesting, and that's the review. Conor Hannon, you've never seen the serial before. Please tell me what you think.
No, I have not. And I'll tell you for what, Aidan.
Fucking come on, mate.
All right,
Tick-tock goes the clock.
But it doesn't. It's always 2 minutes past 6. I think that's it.
Was it 2:06?
No, I think it's 6:02.
Was it 3:05?
No, I think it's 6:02.
It might be. I'll fact check. And you,
Thank you.
You go on.
I haven't watched Classic Who for a few weeks, so it was a nice little break. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, I always, like, when I was, like, I got a bit of a sticky beak. So I checked out what episodes or, like, what series are coming up in season 2. And I saw this and I was intrigued and I was interested. So going into it, I wasn't feeling as shitty as I kind of normally do with, like, something like Web Planet where you know it's going to be shit. It's no Web Planet, let's just say that. But, I really, like, I watched the first part and I loved the first part. And I was...
By far the best.
It was so cool.
Yeah, I agree.
It was so cool. There's, like, the Dalek there, which is cool and funny. Like, it's interesting how, like, you know, Ian and Barb's are like to Vicky, they're like, we hope you don't run into the Daleks.
Yeah,
and
that's so fun.
Man, they got to be back soon.
Well, you're in luck.
And I'm in luck because it's right at the end.
They back next week, baby.
The Dodger even hides in the show, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that's iconic.
So I didn't read that Twitter. I didn't read that Wikipedia article, thank God, because 6:02?
We're both wrong. 5:02.
PM?
PM, baby.
Fuck.
Yeah, they weren't on the beach at 5 a.m. in the morning.
They shot it in the morning. Confidential.
Thanks, confidential.
Yeah. It looks like the sunset, but it's actually the sunrise.
It's just because the way that the sun was going to have to be, the direction of the light.
That blew my mind again. I'm like, yo.
Crazy. What's your point?
The ending, I didn't read the Wikipedia article before, okay? So I didn't get spoiled for it. That shot of them all in the glass cage is so cool, and it's really eerie and creepy.
Yeah.
And I was like
pans across them.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is sick. Like, this is so cool. Like, I love this. This is great. So much so that I, Conor Hannon, decided to watch 2 episodes in one night.
You don't do that. You never do that.
I don't do that. Okay. So this was Monday. And I got to admit, like, at the end of episode 2, I was like, like they like disappear like very quickly into the them in the museum, like glass cage. They disappear. I'm like, it's not as fun. And I feel like it just got more and more boring as it went along.
Turned, like, especially when it turned into like the war between land and the sea, the war between the Zerons and the Morocks. It's just like every second Doctor Who story does that. And the thing is, it started so interestingly about like changing your fate, and even just the idea of like exhibits and humans being encased in exhibits and bombed or whatever. Like, that stuff is like spooky and really cool and interesting. And I I think I never really felt that threat once the story kicked off in like part 2, and then the whole like
I agree.
reasoning of like we arrived late because a screw fell at the TARDIS basically or whatever.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, it was kind of lame. Like it just progressively got.
It was
less
timey-wimey, but it was lame. Yeah, and like the good thing about this first part, which honestly is probably one of my favorite first parts of a classic Who story I've seen.
Yeah, right.
Because like it's really cool. Like the staff are there. Like you know what I mean. Like the inhabitants of the planet are there. Like. And they're talking, but they can't hear them, and they can't see the crew, the TARDIS crew. And it really, for me, like it really engaged my attention. And like, I don't know, like that Black Mirror episode, Black Museum. Mm-hmm. It's like really cool. Like, I love that episode.
Great episode.
It's really cool. And I was like, oh, they can do something really cool here. And then when I saw the Dalek and I saw them in the cases, I was like, wow, this. And like, I always was kind of looking forward to watching this episode. I even said in Adelaide, I was like, I'm keen to watch that. But I think it just like somehow went from like super interesting to just like, you're right, just like the jargon that we've been watching for the last couple months. Feels like years now. But.
Yeah, it does. For a long time. Well, we started it before season 1. We did the first serial, so.
Yeah, well, that's when the set came out, wasn't it? That's why we're reviewing it, because series 2, because of the set that came out.
No.
Was it last year, or was it?
No, we did episode 1, 2, and 3 just because we were starting season 2 pre.
I remember that, but I'm saying like I thought we picked this season because this box set had just come out.
We picked it because I owned the box set, but the set had come out like a year or 2 ago.
Right, I thought we were doing that. Okay, but
yeah,
still
doesn't matter. I feel like I just got punched in the face with tiredness. Yeah. I need to liven up.
I feel like that. Don't worry, it's okay. We're working class men. We do jobs. Okay.
I'm getting hyped. I'm getting excited. Look at me. I'm alive.
I have something to say, I guess, even though I was just talking for like 10 years.
Yeah, go on. Please put me to sleep more.
Yeah, I know. I have that effect on people.
We'd be a good sleep podcast.
I was yeah. Some people do that. I don't know how you do that. Because like, if I want to listen to a podcast, I want to actually listen to it because I like it. So I couldn't fall asleep to it. I missed all the good parts.
I did listen to a sleep podcast for a little bit, but the sleep podcast only ran for 8 episodes. But it was from a YouTuber that I like. They decided to do. Do you know GeoGuessr?
Yes.
It was a GeoGuessr sleep podcast where basically the GeoGuessr is it's an app on your phone where it's connected to Google Maps, and basically it spawns you in a random location in a random country anywhere in the world, and it's your job to figure out where you are, and you have to try and pinpoint it as exactly on the map as possible. Yeah, and so what this podcast would be he would be like, okay, so I am in what looks somewhere maybe Middle Eastern, and now I'm gonna move down the streets a little bit. There's some red cars, there's some blue cars, some brown cars.
They don't have them in any other country.
No. But they're like just softly like describing everywhere they are, and it does put you to sleep. It's good.
I more just mean like I couldn't listen to like a podcast that I really like and put it on to go to bed, because it's like I want to actually listen to it. Yeah. Comment below if you listen to this while going to bed, because I'd love to know.
I did. Richard Lloyd, friend of the show. I did comment on one of their YouTube video once, and I felt kind of bad commenting it, but they used to do a lot of like all the Doctor Who merch I bought this month, and they do like a monthly recap and stuff, and they'd be like 15, 20 minutes and just go through everything. And I remember commented on them once saying like, oh, I love these so much, man. I mean, this is the best compliment possible, but I love falling to sleep to these.
I did that.
And he like replied saying, no, I'm happy that you watched it, man. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind if people fall asleep watching this, you know. As long as you're not driving.
I DM'd a YouTuber called The Real Jims who does like
was he fake?
No, he does like Simpsons videos. Like his whole channel is doing Simpsons videos. It's awesome. It's like, and I remember for certain reasons last year in January I was going through like a really bad time and couldn't sleep.
Mysterious.
And his videos helped me sleep. And I DM'd him on Twitter, and he's a big YouTuber. Like he has like, I think he's got a couple 100,000. Mm-hmm. And I DM'd him, not thinking he'd reply, but just of like thanks and gratitude. And I was like, you've really helped me. And he fucking replied.
That's so nice.
He got back to me. He said, and I said the same thing. I was like, I mean, it's in a nice way possible, but like, I can't sleep at the moment, and your videos are making me feel like safe. Mm-hmm. And he was like, it's okay, man. I get it a lot. Like, It's a hard compliment, isn't it? It's like, you help me sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
If you want me to help you sleep,
yeah.
then we can do a sleep Doctor Who pod.
Yes.
What would we describe? We describe missing episodes.
Missing episodes. We could do like maybe Amy's Choice review on loop. Just
with the bird song in the background.
Do you know what I tried to do but didn't? I was like, have you heard of like 24-hour Twitch channels?
Yeah.
So
They did Doctor Who for ages on one.
Yeah, I was going to try and do it with the podcast, like just constantly showing old episodes, but too difficult. But maybe one day.
Too jazzy.
Anyway, too jazzy? What I was going to say is that I went out for dinner last night, okay?
Woof.
Just down the road from here. And
Which is...
I won't say. And I said to my mum a really good point that Doug made a couple of weeks ago on the podcast that like these episodes weren't meant to be like rewatched. Like they were meant to be like watch once and forget about.
Yeah.
The fact that we're talking about it like 55 years later, because it came out in 1965, 56? Yeah.
59.
59, whatever.
60.
Well, no, this came out in
What's
1965.
59.
So it'd be 50.
9.
How? Math? If it came out in 1965...
Yeah, 2 years after Doctor Who started.
Oh, baloney, whatever, who cares? You know my point. Like, I'm bad at maths, okay? I think we all know that. My point is, like, if you'd have told these people that we'd be watching it and reviewing it, if they could see this, they'd be like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Who are these losers?
why are you watching this? Like, but it's because the show is like, and it's such a unique thing for a show to have. It's like people care about it. Because I got asked last night by my mum, like, why do you watch it? Sounds terrible. I'm like, well, it can be, but it's like, if you watch Classic Who, you have to be a huge diehard fan, which I am, folks. Even though people on Twitter say I'm not, and my opinions suck.
You know the worst tweet I saw this week was
it from me?
No. Surprisingly not. It was someone that said, my pet peeve is people that haven't seen all of Classic Doctor Who talking about Classic Doctor Who. Giving an
How else are you
opinion on
supposed to? You're supposed to just stay muted until you finish every episode.
I've got ick. I thought, what a gross take.
So
That's
from Unearthly
terrible.
Child to the Doctor Who movie, you don't say a word.
You can't talk. You can't give
For
an
the last
opinion.
3 years, I've been watching Classic Who. I didn't
What
say
a
a word.
gross opinion. I thought about one point doing like a little segment, like every few weeks or whatever,
What bad
or
take
like
of the week?
like tweet of the month or something like that, and it would just be like the shittest take I've seen online for the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would be it, because that is just a bad take. That back to the Space Museum, perhaps.
Yeah, why not?
So Land on the Planet, we covered part 1. What did you think?
Is that it? We've only done
Well,
part
yeah,
one.
it's not really much more to it. Will Hartnell goes to Ibiza again.
Yep. As in what, he gets high?
Well, I mean, episode 3, he's not in it at all,
Yeah,
which means that old Willie's over.
Is that just because he's old or because he...
Well, I think it's like any full-time job. You can take leave. So he goes, I'm fucking off for the week, guys.
True.
Off to, yeah. Whenever I think of like people in the UK going on holidays, I just say fucking Ibiza, mate. So
I know Benidorm's a hot spot.
yeah, off to Benidorm.
I watched that whole show, by the way.
Did ya?
Yeah.
That's great. Don't know anything about it.
This episode had so much going for it, and just somehow it sucked at the end.
It's just like
And by the end, I mean 3 parts.
I don't care about these fuckers with the massive eyebrows up high.
Oh my God.
Why are they up so high? That's all I could think when I was looking at them.
Yeah, it's...
Bring them down.
I
him
find
down.
it hard to not to defend that person's tweet that you were just talking about, but it's like I do feel guilty like criticizing Classic Who because again, like they weren't meant to be rewatched and studied and critiqued.
Yeah, done a podcast over for an hour.
Yeah, so I do feel bad. I guess like I'm more going to these episodes like, did I enjoy it or did I not? And I think the first part,
Yeah. It's like a graph.
yeah, first part I'd say I more than enjoyed it. I think it's probably one of my
Yeah.
favorite first parts I've watched. Maybe ever, folks. Like I just really enjoyed it.
I think this graph would look like the opposite of the cost of living in Perth at the moment,
Right.
where it's like this graph peaks really high
Spikes.
and then just goes down very quick.
You know,
Cost of living in Perth.
A Red Bull is like $7.
Just don't have Red Bull.
I've been dieting like so good since I got back from Adelaide. Like I'm really proud of myself.
Well, that helps,
And
right?
What, saving on
That a
wine?
Red Bull's $7. You wouldn't like
Yeah, well,
fuck that.
I bought my first one. Since, you know how we're saying the story before how I walked to go get the Red Bull? I haven't had one since that day. So it's like over 10 days.
Crazy.
So, and I had one today. $7. Insane.
Insanity.
Insane.
Insanity.
Insanity. Insane. Insanity.
Can you do anything else to say on the Space Museum? I'm so sorry. There's been a tiny review for it, but there isn't.
No, but it's not
there's
nothing
going on.
Do I have anything else to say?
The sets.
the ending.
Sets
You want to
were
talk about
cool.
the ending with the Daleks?
Oh yeah, the Daleks like, we're coming, Doctor.
So it's the thing that he takes in the TARDIS. That's like, it's like,
Well, no, they steal. I know, good point. They steal a time and space visualizer, I think.
and what is it, Doctor? Oh, don't worry, boy. It will be revealed.
It's pretty cool. I wonder what version iPlayer has, because there's a pretty cool song at the start of episode 1 of The Chase, and I wonder if they still had the license for it.
Help.
I need somebody help.
Is that it?
No.
Not just anybody help.
No, I'm going to leave it for a surprise, but I'll just say you're not far from.
And I guess my last question is like, do you like the Doctor going into the shell of the Dalek and going like,
Yeah, it's fun. We all want to do that.
He's Master Yoda, don't you think?
This is what I mean by season 2. He's so silly, and I love it. He's a silly goose.
Oh,
But then all of a sudden you'll have him like a couple of weeks ago, and he's just losing his shit every second. Yeah. And then you have him like cracking, having a blast.
Barbara's being sold as a slave. Well, good luck to her.
Rome's burning.
Yeah. But Doctor, I can hear their scream.
I love history.
Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah,
It's a shame. I really loved the first part. I'm just repeating myself. Do you know how many times I listen to myself like on podcasts and I'm like, I repeat myself so fucking much.
I'll stop talking.
I won't say anything.
No more.
No
Who knows?
more.
Do you want to give the Space Museum a review out of 10? A score out of 10?
A review? Just did it. 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
4.
Oh, that low.
Bro, it's again, am I having a good time or am I not? I wasn't.
That's a respectable way to do a review.
But that first part is goated.
It is good. Look, I am going to give it a 6 because I think it's like fun enough early on, and I don't think the
You
ending.
said next to nothing good about it.
Well, because it's just average. It
That's
just
6.
The thing is, it doesn't turn into a bad episode. It just turns into a run of the mill episode. You know, like, and that's
Monster of the week.
yeah.
I guess it's not really a monster at all.
No, it's just some guys, some
End of the
pompous
day, the biggest
dogs.
monster.
I also
was the
don't really.
human race.
I don't know how much I get this story as well. You know, like it's like military people that run a museum.
Yeah.
I don't
Sometimes
know.
I feel like I hate when TV shows are like, you're too stupid to figure it out, so it makes sense, and you're just dumb that you don't get it.
That's like Russell's writing at the
I
moment.
hate when Tenet, like everyone's like, I've spoken to people about Tenet, and they're like, "Oh, you don't get it." It's like, bitch, do you? I doubt it.
I saw. I'm trying to find it, the quote, but no, I can't. There was a thing that said apparently the writer didn't know anything about Doctor Who or science fiction when they were brought in to write this episode, and I was like, I get it.
It kind of makes sense though with the whole space museum thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it would have been cool to see maybe a few other little Easter eggs, but I was like, is there going to be a Dalek? And there was, and I was like, classic. Just one more thing to say before I shut up.
Yeah. About time.
I do want to say that I watched this HBO Sopranos documentary called Wise Guy, and it was so fucking great. If you're a Sopranos fan, watch it. I didn't expect to cry in it. I cried, not a lot. Like it was like watching Dalek after the pub type shit. Like the one tear,
Balling.
the one tear, the one tear. I don't know if you know the actor who played Tony Soprano. He died a couple of years after the show, so it was during that segment, and he really put so much into that role. And yeah, I would have watched 10 hours of that documentary. It was great. So if you're a fan, watch it. It's really, really great. And yeah, I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Aidan. Thank you for letting me talk.
Respect. I appreciate you talking. Guys, that's our show. Next week, we'll be back to the Sarah Jane Adventures, which feels like a lifetime since we've done that because it has been longer than usual. Yes, you got a boo-boo on your finger.
Yeah.
Did she sneeze?
Classic.
Need that on the soundboard.
Yeah.
The next Sarah Jane Adventures is
Something of it's Clyde Langer's dad episode.
The Curse of Clyde Langer? No, that's later on.
That's later on, which I'd never seen. The other one says it has a 73 yards vibe, so I'm keen for it.
Okay. something of Clyde Langer.
I remember this episode being really great, but I've said that about Series 2 so far, and it's just not hit my expectations because it's a series that I grew up with mostly. So
We'll do Sarah Jane and we'll do mail time. Write anything you want us to answer or talk about down below, and we'll do a post on the socials as well. But get commenting below.
Let's not leave it for 5 minutes this time. Let's do it in advance,
I usually do.
Yeah, I know you do. I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Tell that to
was
yourself.
Mean. That was mean. Unnecessary and mean.
Just
and just,
unkind.
you know what, quite frankly, rude.
Unnecessary.
Just rude.
Walk yourself out.
I will.
Get out.
I will. It's Aidan.
I love my breath to preempt you every time.
I know, man. That's like here we are.
It's Aidan, the Doctor Who reviews.
Now you fucked it.
Doing Doctor Who reviews.
How you feeling about the Grand Tour being over? Did you cry?
I sobbed on the plane.
Cool.
I was
You wanted that high altitude emotion.
Yeah, I got that.
Which apparently exists. I didn't know
this
that.
buff bloke next to me that kept being like, oi, how shit's the plane? Oh, they've made the seats smaller, haven't they?
Is that what he said to you?
Everything costs money on this plane, doesn't it? And I was like, it does. This is what it's been like flying on a plane for fucking years. Let me watch the Grand Tour in peace, you fucking idiot! And I beat the shit out of him. Wow. And I watched the last half of the Grand Tour and cried.
So that's what happened when I saw you having a fight with a man on the plane.